and welcome back to my channel. As promised, I wanted to do part 2 of your social work licensure exam day and tell you how mine went. So, if you don't know this, I am a clinical social worker, a clinical addiction specialist, and I am going to I did a video earlier on the licensure exam experience and what you need to know, but I also wanted to share my experience because it can be very intimidating to take the exam. So, number one, I will say, find out your testing location, know where it's at, know the building you're going to go to. Get that out of the way. Get that stress out of the way. You do not need to be worried about being on time. I think they're even, like, when I took it, I think they even said if you don't arrive by this time, you're, like, forfeiting your test. I don't know how true that is. I arrived late for one of mine, and I was super lost, and they were accommodating, just fine, but that's not the case for everywhere, so just be mindful of that. I guess the other thing is, you're probably going to feel like you're going to be under interrogation when you take this test. I know for me, I was already nervous going into it, but basically when I walked in, I think I was the only social work taking the exam. So it was a whole bunch of other people studying and worrying, and I'm like, everyone's telling me this exam is horrible. So basically I went there, I kind of got a number, they give you a locker to put your stuff in, there's no cell phones, there is no anything allowed in there. So once you finally get back to your station, first you're going to go kind of through a screening, like airport kind of screening thing. They had me take off my glasses, and I'm like, how much, do you see how thin it is? How much answers can I really write on there to pass a licensure exam? But I get it, they need to. This exam is the only thing that is stopping you, other than hours and other things, from becoming a provider. So it has to be a legit ethical exam, no cheating. Oh, you guys know that. If you're in this profession and you're about to take this test, you should know that. Once I got back there, I kind of got sat down and I looked right up at me, and there's a big old camera over me. So surveillance like no other. If you're not used to that, I encourage you to practice even in home, kind of recreate that, because you may have a camera above you. There'll be people walking around making sure. So if you're not used to that tension, that stress of like being kind of watched, practice it. They're going to do it. The other thing is you'll kind of go to your little station. It's kind of like it depends on the testing center, but kind of like a little cubicle. So if you're not used to small spaces and silence and all of that, just kind of be aware of that. And you're pretty much going to walk up to a computer, earbuds, paper, and a pencil or pen. It's kind of all you get. The other thing I'll say is, it's cold. It is cold. Not only myself, but a few of my other colleagues, and I've heard it from just everyone. It's cold in those testing centers. I don't know why they're so cold. Bring a sweater, bring something cold, because you know how you think and feel when you're freezing? You're like, that's all you think about. I am freezing, I'm shaking. Bring something to keep you warm, because that was my experience twice, and from what I've heard from other people, it's their experience too. It is cold. So bring that sweater, sweatshirt, whatever. They're going to look at it. They're going to make sure there's nothing in the pockets, all of that. But bring it. You cannot test when you're freezing. So just know that. The other thing I'll say is like bathroom breaks and all of that. They're going to, you have to do a whole sign in, sign out. They're going to check you each time you go back in that room. So the other thing I'll say is, as far as the testing experience, go through all the questions. Do the best you can. If you have any time left, I think I had about an hour left, and I went through every single question again. Even if you got 10 minutes left, just go to those questions that you need to know and recheck and go to them. 1 or 2 questions could make all the difference in passing or failing. That piece of paper that is next to you, I highly encourage, if there's a question that you can't stop wondering, is that right? Write the number of that question down. It'll allow you to go back to that question. So if you have 5 minutes left and you know you need to look at 10 and 19, you're good to go. So just be aware of that. Once your test is over, you'll kind of come out, and every station's different, but I kind of was in a waiting room just waiting for the results to process. I have not been to a testing center where the results show up on the screen. I just wait for them to print out, and then the test administrator will give you a copy of it, and sometimes they'll just give it to you and not say congratulations or I'm sorry. They'll just hand it to you, which I get. I don't know how do you tell people either congratulations or I'm sorry? Like, you don't want to act or overreact or underreact. So, but that was my experience. They handed me a copy. I flipped it over. It said pass. I was skipping, jumping, hopping out the door. Went to my locker, grabbed my phone. On my way out, I'm texting everyone saying I passed, and the relief you feel when you get out of that testing thing with a passed paper in your hand is amazing. So that was my testing experience. I encourage you to practice the environment because it's going to be very structured like that. I also encourage you to do a lot of practice tests to make sure you're kind of aware of that format. It's multiple choice, but it's a lot of questions, and that could be intimidating. If you are not a test taker, I am not a good test taker. I did good, but it took a lot of practice. After you get your LCSW-A, in North Carolina at least, you have up to 2 years to take that test. So I think I got my licensure for that in August or July or August, and I waited until March of the next year to take my exam. So if you feel like you're ready right out of school, everything's fresh, go for it. If you feel like you need more time and hours in the field, do that as well. So whatever works for you, you're going to be fine. You know the material, just apply it. Okay? So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope everyone is doing great. I'm going to put a part 3 out there of a little bit more testing strategies that helped me, but I want to definitely share my experience. So I hope yours is better than mine, maybe? It was very interrogating. So I hope everyone has a great week, and let me know if you have any questions about the licensure process or the testing, and subscribe. I look forward to working with you and hearing from you guys. Bye.